Forbes for the Kiwis, so Tim Mickelson captains the side, so they're without a man that has led them for so long. Perhaps an opportunity first up for England. Let's cross back to Glasgow with Scott Hastings and Nigel Starmer-Smith.
These old rivals meeting for the 51st time. Now Turner, is he going to produce what he can do? Lewis Pratt, this is the captain. Rob Vickerman. And this is Jeff Williams, big powerful man. So too is Tom Powell, into the hands of Vickerman. Marcus Watson, he's had a good season. Oh, this is Turner. Matt Turner hasn't been great all the season, but he's getting better. Now it's Dan Norton, it's a race against Lamb. Oh, and it goes over.
Option black, 22 off scrum.
Well, Norton didn't get the bounce the ball. Look at the cut on the inside angle. This is Matt Turner. Now he's starting for England today. Gets Norton on the outside. The chip and run. Well, if that had stayed within, that was a try for Norton because he had the pace and they had the beating of Lamb. Just a set move, and Marcus Watson putting the ball back in. Lottie Rakambula absolutely took Watson out, but on the attack was Norton, and that's the pace that England need to unleash if they're to escape the clutches of this New Zealand team.
Crouch.
Scrum half just inside the New Zealand.
Set.
The greatest rivals is Matt Turner into the hands of Lewis Pratt. Oh, knocked on, was it? Or did it go backwards? Yeah, it was a knock on by Tom Powell. This big, powerful man. 6 feet 6, 16-3, playing his 30th tournament.
Well, just watch his eyes. The ball actually went back to start with. I know we have the benefit of that, but my first instinct that it wasn't a knock-on, but Powell, who led his team so well over in New Zealand when England, the sole victory they've had on the series.
And now to Stowers. Very elusive player he's been. Sister's pretty good too, playing sevens women's for New Zealand. Ben Lamb, turned over by Turner. Brilliantly done.
Come back of what?
Away by Stowers. Oh, he goes, sees the gap. Was that forward? No, it was not. It's into Kaka. Gillies Kaka with the first try. Brilliant work by Stowers, that was. This guy who's been playing, what, 8 sevens years since Dubai 2004, and recalled to Hong Kong in our last tournament.
Our Stowers was brilliant, wasn't he? He stepped off the ball, gave that long pass to Gillies Kaka. Kaka, such a strong runner. It was the recognition of where the space was right away. And Stowers, he stepped inside Marcus Watson, threw the long pass. Kaka round towards the posts. He's got the conversion to come.
Well, Gillies Kaka been quite a surprise. He was really spotted as tournament player of the New Zealand National Sevens in Queenstown round about Christmas. Came into the side and has really made his mark.
Are you ready?
Into the hands of Turner. Christian Lewis Pratt to Dan Norton. Mickelson calling for it. Taking over as captain with DJ injured. He's been outstanding this season, has Tim Mickelson. Deceptive pace and strength. Flips it inside, oh, brilliantly to Scott Curry.
Well, absolute brilliance there. They call this man Scurry, and he's in for his 16th try. But what about Mickelson's run up the line there? and that inside flick was superb. England hadn't set the defensive alignment quick enough. That allowed Mickelson to get down the tram lines. He was chased by Paul. Watson comes over the tackle. Watch this for a little pass inside. But what's important is the support running from Scott Curry and in under the posts.
Absolutely, that's an element of their strength, New Zealand, that support play. Scott Curry just back after having a very nasty shoulder injury. And what a start to his recall. And what a brilliant play by Tim Mickelson. It's been so consistent, been all tournaments this season.
4 of black.
Knock on. England get the foot in.
Then what?
I think it was the first knock on, Nigel, from the kick-off, so
yeah.
England will, yeah. But England's so crucial that they try and get a score back with just under a minute and a half of the clock. Turner at scrum half, he'll be feeding the scrum.
12-0, just over a minute of this first half. Matt Turner.
Guys, I want you still, and I want your armour, please.
Hot and cold during this season. Last season, absolutely brilliant. And England were brilliant when they played in Wellington, the home ground of New Zealand. But they haven't been in a cup quarter-final except in that one tournament. Now, can Dan Norton do something? Oh, knocked on by Christian Lewis Pratt, trying the angle, taken away by Ray Kambula. This is Pat Lam now, big, powerful man. Oh, he's broken through 2 tackles of England's defence. And that's the strength of the man. Ben Landon, 21-year-old, big, 6'3", 16'7", and his 21st try in only his 7th tournament. Wonderful pass.
Well, I saw Lam make his debut out in Dubai in the Sevens back in December last year, and he was a nervous player, but he has grown into, for me, being one of the players of the series. He's grown in confidence, and his strength is undoubtedly, well, it's out the top drawer, isn't it?
Well, he's a bit like Jonah Lamu, isn't he? Just runs through people. Very hard to bring down. But England did have the chance. Conversion is just wide, and at half-time New Zealand comfortably placed, albeit looking at the last game when Samoa were 17-0 at half-time against Canada, they turned them round, but it's 17-0 to...
Pressure defence is not creating pressure on a good, disciplined and intelligent New Zealand attack.
In terms of ball in hand, protecting it well enough, the little ball that England have had?
No, they've had soft turnovers. You know, they're trying these inside balls back deep in their own half, which puts a lot of pressure on. Quick turnover, and the Kiwis came back with a try. And you know, there's a time and place to do these things, and they've got to get the pressure off first, get some penetration over the Kiwis, over their line, and then start looking to play heads-up rugby.
Absolutely, and it looks like they'll be chasing from even further back now. Kurt Baker scoring for the Kiwis to take them further ahead. Let's return to Glasgow with Nigel and Scott.
22-0.
Well, the damage was done, Nigel, with the missed tackles on Mickelson. And Mickelson skipped out, held on to the ball, and when Kurt Baker cuts an angle like this, well, he had the pace to outstrip Matt Turner. And Turner's no slouch, but Kurt Baker plays with such confidence.
I think they've missed him badly this season. I know they're still top. They've only won one title in Port Elizabeth. But Kurt Baker, well, back now after having a bad hamstring earlier on, comes back, and you just see how good he is.
Well, how good is that as well? The conversion from Gillies Kaka is good, but certainly Kurt Baker, wonderful runner of the ball. He always plays rugby with a smile on his face, but that's where the damage was done. The missed tackles that allowed Mickelson to get in behind the England defence. No sweeper at home, and Turner just didn't have the legs to match Burker. Look at him smiling and grinning there.
It's that sort of skills of Mickelson which I've seen all this season. He's a handful. Turner can be too. Turner going with Lewis Pratt. Still Turner. Big chance for England here. Tom Mitchell.
Backwards.
And the breakdown again. Just cannot risk that. Vickerman sets it up. And it's free ball. Dan Norton in his own 22. Christian Lewis Pratt goes round Raikambula to Turner. Oh, it's a gift into the hands of Stowers. Well, he was hanging around in the right place at the right time, and England have just given it away.
Well, there's a reason that New Zealand are at the top of the tree and lead this World Series, and the reason being is they put you under pressure so much. England were just a little bit lazy there. Turner didn't have the legs. Back into Christian Lewis Pratt, and a sloppy bit of play for England.
Well, they're being blown out, aren't they? 31-0 it is.
Black 9, substitution.
Well, it was, what, 11 years ago when New Zealand's highest score for a win over England was 50 points to 7, and it's in danger now. Could be Gator. More than that.
Halfway there, halfway through the second half. New Zealand 31-0 up.
Come on.
Rodwell.
That's a maul!
John Brake coming on as replacement.
Was a maul, guys. Turnover. Ball was held up.
Let's get with everyone.
Kevin White.
Come on.
Substitution, one
Well,
white.
Rob Vickerman wearing the scrum cap there. He was telling everybody to get involved, because what happened there was the New Zealand flooded the contact area, and England have just been falling off tackles. And they'll have to have a real good think before they take on the next one. Here's Tomasi Thama, real playmaker of this New Zealand team.
Set.
Well, he's been absolutely brilliant, years on years.
What, you got a bun?
And coming back after injury.
2.
Missed out in Hong Kong and Tokyo.
Just make sure you get your button up.
Mike Ellery coming on for England. He's made his debut in Hong Kong this season, coming out of a lot of 15 side with Mosley and Newcastle. Originally started out with Penrith junior team then. And this is his first break. Mike Ellery, will he go the whole way? He needs support. He's got support. Oh no. Well, the pass was a bit behind him from Tom Mitchell to break. Christian Lewis Pratt sets it up. And England have held on too long.
Well, that just sums up the difference between the two sides.
Absolutely sums it up.
No, he retreated.
And look how New Zealand got back on the defensive chores. Previously, England got back, but they threw that loose pass, and Sherwin Stowers scored. Here, New Zealand got back. They won the penalty, and Tomasi Thama back up into England's 22.
I mean, and you see this guy. I mean, he wasn't even there in the first half. And Tomasi Thama, I would say, is probably the greatest current sevens player of the game. This is Ellery. He had a real chance, but look at the cover back from this new boy, Peter Aki. And then the mess up. The pass from Mitchell too far behind John Brake. Just over a minute to go. Dan Norton has a chance here. You can see his pace. Chased he is all the way by Bunanera. Finally, a score for England. Not really much compensation, is it?
Well, Norton had the opportunity in the first half and dicked it over the dead ball line. This time his ball skills were in control.
Well, there's so much talent with England's side. We saw it in Wellington when they won everything right through and beat New Zealand comfortably. But since then, and before then, they've never been in a cup quarter-final even. Frustration for coach Ben Ryan.
No, it was no rush. Release, balls in.
Well, these are the two sides who met in the final last year in Glasgow. New Zealand won. England's were runners-up.
Playing advantage. No advantage, got full ball at the tackle.
And there is the final whistle. And for England, a big, big disappointment. But look at the strength and the talent of this New Zealand side. No wonder they're at the top.